Let me sum up the proceedings. We've already crossed the time, so I'll be very, very brief. We had a wonderful session, started by Piyush Bhai, who was, as always, batting on the front foot, very, very down to earth and forthright. So his advice, very simply put, is nothing's going to change too much post-COVID as far as consumer psyche is concerned. So emotions will still continue to play a major role as far as advertising is concerned. No point in cutting down on expenditure as far as this Corona time is concerned, because you have to keep communicating with your consumers. And that is very important to continue to keep retaining their trust. So these were some of the key takeaways of, and he obviously was very, very positive in how the world is going to shape up after COVID. Nothing's going to change too much, so don't bother, and no point in being too worried. Anshu has done a lot of homework, and he presented some lovely statistics. But overall, the crux of Anshu's presentation was that out-of-home consumption has suffered massively. And that is for everyone to see. On a rough basis, what he said was the total out-of-home consumption drop would be about 2.3 million tons. And if we consider Indian consumption at around 23 million tons, less 2.3 would actually mean that Indian consumption might fall to about 20.4 or 5 or something like that, 20.5. So that's a big, big, big drop in Indian consumption, which normally was actually growing at around 700 to 800,000 tons of oil per year. And the biggest loser in this is going to be possibly palm. Digital deliveries are going to improve big time. Ready to eat can be the way forward, and possibly that sector is going to boom or zoom. Then we had Priyam presenting his side of the story. Obviously, he feels there will be a lot of behavioral changes post-COVID. And at the end of the day, digital is going to prevail. Digital seems to be something on which there is a consensus among all the speakers that the way forward is going to be much more digital and online. So that is one area which one needs to seriously look at. Data consumption will definitely grow. Home spending would also possibly grow. These are some consumer takeaways which should help going forward. Isha talked about the immunity which rice bran oil provides. In fact, she came up with something interesting. Gamma oryzanol can be a big immunity tablet or whatever. And in fact, if India is able to successfully market it, and if their company is able to successfully market it, I think that's a huge opportunity waiting to be exploited. Nirav gave an example of how he has developed Madhuri into a very strong brand. In fact, some of the things which Nirav talked about were actually covered subsequently by Vijay Bhai also. Because Vijay Bhai talked about more with the MSMEs in mind and with more at the local level promotions or regional branding as opposed to national branding. So I think both Nirav and Vijay Bhai were on the same plane, and some of the suggestions which Nirav gave were really interesting. A regional brand owner, because he's smaller, is able to have a much better connectivity with the consumers, and he's able to service brands right up to the tehsil level. Obviously, that helps in wider distribution, and obviously they're able to extract a better price in terms of pricing as well. It helps. Vijay Bhai has just spoken, so I would not review what he said. More or less, whatever he said is something which anyone who intends building up a brand has to seriously look at. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot cheat a customer. And when you are directly dealing with the consumer, it is important that he should be given the right kind of importance. And he was very, very pertinent when he said that as far as complaints is concerned, we generally find that people do not, or the companies do not respond to the complaints. This is something which does not create trust and does not help a brand in the long run. These are some of the interesting points. And now I'll have Harshal or Mehtaji to take over, and some of the questions which may have come, let them put it across to the panelists, and then Mehtaji will give the vote of thanks. Friends, Globoil now is being held in Goa from 30th, 31st, and 1st of November. So you're all invited. Obviously, it's going to be a much smaller affair compared to what we have in Bombay, largely because of the COVID times. But you're still invited. It will be both virtual and physical as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chaturvedi. Thank you all the speakers for this insightful session. We have received many questions, and because of constraints on the time side, we will have to take limited questions. The first question is from Mr. Malik. The question is,
remove the banner.
Yeah, will palm oil consumption reduce in local fast food chain and in home because of the more consciousness of health post-COVID? And if this happens, will there be an increase in the seed oil consumptions? This is for Malik.
Okay. You see, at home, still there are consumers who consume palm oil at home, and they will continue to buy because palm oil for them is a very good frying and cooking oil. The issue is always the out-of-home consumption, which is and people are used to using palm oil all these days. So out-of-home consumption, as it reduces, palm oil consumption is one of the major oil which is consumed, particularly in the restaurants, hotels, canteens, and all these places, which will get affected. To some extent, soya will also get affected. To some extent, soya might get affected. But other oils will be a minor affected, but major is your palm, and the palm will be the major affected.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And a related question there is, will the world be same post-COVID, or will there be a drastic change in terms of consumer habits?
People feel first half will be difficult, everybody to come back to normal. After that, people are assuming that after all, we are all human beings and we would like to come together, and we just cannot have social distancing within our friends and family. So everybody would like to see each other again. And I'm sure after October, things would improve gradually. But it may not be so fast. It may take a little more time. By year end, things may come to normal. By Q4, people are coming to normal. That is what everybody is thinking. But still, there is a skepticity in it. Particularly in large gatherings and all that, particularly weddings and all that. So I think overall, first half is bad. Q3 for us, that is the October, November, December, we'll start improving things. Jan, Feb, March, we should be normally back in action.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This question is from Mr. Priyam Patel. Since because of COVID, most of the manufacturers are going the e-tail way, which is through online modes of delivery. What will be the role of wholesalers and traders in the pegged edible oil sector?
I feel that the role of wholesalers and retailers is not going to change drastically over next 6 months or 12 months or in the near future, but there is a gradual shift. We all understand, we all accept that there is a shift from physical to online. So that shift is not going to happen. Even COVID will not be able to change our retail, general retail stores, the Kiryana shops are not going to be affected in a big way. But yes, like when the online e-commerce business started, all the digital and all the electronic stores were the first to be affected. They have still been in place vis-a-vis with e-commerce being there for such a long time. It is about sustain. Both the platforms need to sustain and stay together. Modern trade had come in. There was a huge talk about how modern trade is going to take over the general trade, and then all the shops are going to be closed in the next 10 years. We don't see that. Both of them learn to live together. There are consumers who are going to go the e-shopping way. There are consumers who are going to go towards the normal general trade. So there is no near-term changes in the direct distribution, but there is obviously going to be a focus for companies on the online segment because there's a lot of new consumers who are coming there, and for a customer who is available, what is available in the retail store is what the retailer wants to sell. Online, you can advertise and you can get them to buy your product. So there is a little bit of a difference there.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Patel. The next question is for Mr. Nirav Desai. In the current edible oil scenario, should a relatively new brand start with 100% emotional ads or maybe a mix of 60-40 in the fear of emotional to functional advertisement strategy? Mr. Nirav Desai, this question is particularly to you because you have established a regional brand. And for a new player, this is one of the key questions that they would want to ask.
So it totally depends on the brand strategy that you have. What is the positioning you are looking for your brand? It'll totally depend on that. Definitely, an ad should touch one part of the emotion, but that should be aligning with the positioning that you are trying to do for your brand. So I would say that on that. And functionality, sometimes functionalities also help a lot. If your functionality is very good, if you think the utility of that feature of the product is very good, again, matching with the lifestyle, then you can use that also. So again, that's a mix that you have to understand according to your positioning.
Thank you, Mr. Desai. The next question is for Ms. Isha. The first question is it recommended to consume only rice bran oil throughout the whole month, or should the consumers keep on changing?
See, rice bran oil is the only oil which is almost near to the fatty acid composition recommended by WHO and NIN. So it should be used as a single oil. I normally tell people, though it depends on regional preferences also, but it should be used as a single oil only. And because then only you get the right fatty acid composition plus certain unique nutrients which are present in their oil. But yes, for certain things like depends on region also, for taste purpose also, people prefer regional oils. So there is no harm. But majorly it should be used as a single oil. Yeah.
Okay. The next question to you, ma'am, is what is the Japanese standard and what is the market share or market potential of Gamma Original in India?
Gamma Original has huge potential in India. Huge potential. You can check on international market prices also of Gamma Original. Companies are producing it and selling it at heavily high prices. And it is being sold also. And if you check on the survey also, the Gamma Original market in US is booming like anything. They cannot produce at an economical price like India can do, because India is the third largest producer of paddy. Third largest producer. I think second largest producer of paddy. And Japan, which is just contributing 3% of the total paddy production, it will give Gamma Original at a much higher price. But India, being having economies of scale, can give this Gamma Original at a lower price. So the opportunity is not only in India, but worldwide as well. Because at a price which we can offer in the world's largest producer, nobody else can do it. So it is definitely going to be helpful, and the purpose behind it is just to ascertain, to feel proud that we have given a gift of health to our nation. That is the purpose behind it. So with that purpose, I'm sure we're gonna capture Indian market as well and world over it.
Great, great. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is for Mr. Sardana. There are two questions around Atmanirbhar campaign. The first question is, how do you think the consumers will respond to the Atmanirbhar question? And the second question is, will the Atmanirbhar campaign really give boost to the local domestic oil industry?
See, one thing which is very important we are discussing as a branding is the emotional connect. So when you are talking of Atmanirbhar campaign, what Modi ji is saying, he's trying to give you an emotional connect to the domestic production and Indian companies and Indian products. So if you believe in branding and if you believe that consumer behaves and also remains emotional and believes in relationship, if this is the philosophy of branding, then Atmanirbhar Bharat has to work. But it cannot happen that in the name of Atmanirbhar Bharat, I give junk to the consumer and expect them to, just because it is made in India and bad for health or horrible product, adulterated product, and consumer will buy. No. Consumer will definitely use logic. When he finds that there is a 19-20 ka farak, then he will use the emotion by saying, let me buy made in India. So point here is that product has to perform. And if both products are at par, then priority will go to made in India. But if product is inferior, then customer will not simply go with Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this is biggest argument when we are dealing with government of India, even a Niti Aayog meeting and everyone. Okay, you cannot force consumer to buy made in India. Even in Swadeshi Jagran Manch meeting, I said openly that you cannot say buy Swadeshi if you are offering junk to the consumer. So Swadeshi must have a quality standard. And I even recommended to the RSS and Swadeshi Jagran Manch that whoever wants to claim that I am a Swadeshi, there must be a stricter quality standard. Junk producers should not be allowed to spoil the name of Swadeshi and Atmanirbhar. Only then we can say, yes, this will have a winning combination. Otherwise, we will have a bad name.
Absolutely.
So that is what we have to look at. And second point, what was that point? What was the second question?
How will the consumer respond to the Atmanirbhar campaign? Which means that will they really?
Consumer is very positive. Consumer are very positive. Consumer believes, see, the biggest emotion in the today's world, and even if you see the election campaign and everyone, the one of the biggest emotional connect with consumer is nationality and nationalism, and which is used across the platforms, whether by politicians, by, if you see campaigning, whether it is regionalism, you have a very powerful connect there. So Atmanirbhar Bharat will definitely have a mind space capturing. You see that the way Modi Sahab has announced, the day he announced Atmanirbhar Bharat, very next, after a half an hour, all TV channels were talking the same thing. Across the board, suddenly all deliberations and debates started towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. I addressed even the doctors, medical association on role of Atmanirbhar in medical services. So there is a huge connect. Are we in a position to capitalize that by delivering service and quality with Indian wants? And that is the testing time. The issue is us. Customer is ready. Are we able to deliver? Challenges for us, not for the consumer.
Okay.
In the interest of time, I think this is all the question answer round. I would request Dr. B.V. Mehta to proceed with the vote of thanks.
Yeah. Good afternoon. On behalf of SCA and Global, I would like to thank all our speakers for sharing their knowledge and experience with the fellow participants. I also thank all the participants from the India and abroad. Hope you have enjoyed today's webinar and your business and branding and your products for better value realizations. We plan to have webinar in coming months also, and would appreciate if you can send us your suggestion for the topic. We would be hosting the total recording of webinar on SCA and Global website, probably by today evening or by tomorrow, with a feedback form. please return the feedback form with your suggestion. That will help us to evaluate ourselves. By the way, SCA is an ISO organization, one of the oldest organizations, and as a part of the requirement also, we have to evaluate ourselves, particularly be critical about our evaluations. If something wrong, do right. We are not interested, you say we have done a good job, but we are definitely interested if somewhere we have gone wrong, do point out. That's why we are more interested to improve ourselves. Lastly, as Atulji has said, we'll have the global conference this year at the Goa on the 30th, 31st October and the 1st November with a change venue. With the change venue and with an innovative format, and the now registration is also open, so you can take the advantage of the early bird registrations. Lastly, I would like to thank Mr. Atul Chaturvedi, the moderator of this today's webinar, and Mr. Harshal Kamdar for his all support to organize this webinar in a much better way. Thank you very much once again, and again we meet the next webinar maybe in the next couple of days. Yeah, thank you very much once again to all of you. Atul bhai, would you like to add anything?
No, thank you very much. Very well put. Wonderful session, and we had, in fact, I actually enjoyed very much. Interesting treatment. Thank you very much.
The Solvent Extractors Association of India and Global presents Song of Hope on behalf of the entire edible oil industry, dedicated towards our nation and humanity.
कुछ पाने की हो आस आस, कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं, हर कोशिश में हो बार बार, करे दरियाओं को आर पार आशाएं, तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले आशाएं, ले दिल की उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी, आशाएं ले दिल की
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar on the marketing and branding of edible oils in post-COVID scenario, brought to you by the Solvent Extractors Association of India and Globe Oil.